We got a couple of folks coming in, so I'm letting them in. All right. Good evening, everybody. My name is Scott Johnson. I am the Guide Rate Chairman and Kappa League Coordinator for Petersburg Alumni Chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi. And tonight we are having our monthly virtual college experience. And tonight we'll be featuring Rusk College. And we have Mr. Thad Jefferson on with us tonight. And I am going to turn it over to him because y'all don't want to hear from me. You want to hear from him.
Well, good night, good evening, rather, everyone. I hope that everybody has had a wonderful day. I definitely want to say a special shout out to Mr. Johnson and the men of Kappa Alpha Psi for inviting us, St. Petersburg Kappa Alpha Psi chapter, for inviting us on tonight to share about the numerous opportunities that we do have at Rusk College. I know some of you, I see some names on here, you guys maybe already be familiar with me and who I am because I've been able to correlate with quite a few of you guys on the Black Common app. But I am exceedingly excited to be on tonight and to share about Rusk College. So definitely, as we are getting into the presentation, if you guys want to ask me any questions, you definitely can drop those in the chat. Or if you just wanted to stop me and sporadically ask a question, you definitely can do so. So again, for those of you who do not know me, my name is Thad Jefferson, and I serve as the Director of Admissions and Recruiting for Rusk College in Holly Springs, Mississippi. So again, I am glad to be here on tonight. So what I want to do first is that I want to show a quick little 3-minute video that's going to give you a synopsis and a short tour of Rusk College and introductory to who we are as an institution. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now with you guys so that I can get this going for you.
Rusk College mascot, the Bearcat. Say hi, Bearcat. We invite you to take a deeper look into Bearcat country, so come on in for a tour.
Rusk College was established in 1866 and is located in Holly Springs, Mississippi, just 35 miles southeast of Memphis, Tennessee. Rusk was founded by the Freedmen's Aid Society of the Methodist Episcopal Church and is one of only 5 HBCUs founded before 1866 that is still in operation today. Rusk College sits on a 126-acre campus and is a student-centered campus offering a variety of quality academic programming with majors in business, mass communication, education, humanities, science and math, and social science. Transforming lives and developing the full potential of all students is essential to the staff at Rusk College as we seek to help prepare students for leadership and service in a global society. In 2013, Rusk College was named to President Barack Obama's Higher Education Community Service Honor Roll, which is the highest honor a university or college can receive for civic and volunteer work in the community. Through our 150-plus years of history, Rusk has proven to be worthy of its motto, where tomorrow's leaders are students today. Rusk College participates in several intercollegiate sports, including basketball, baseball, tennis, cross country, track and field, softball, and volleyball. Rusk College is a member of the Gulf Coast Atlantic Conference and the National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics. If you are a new student to campus, you might ask, what is there to do on campus? Attending Rusk College, your schedule can easily become full of classes, clubs and organizations, and student activities. With so many options, students can choose the Student Government Association, Greek life, intramural sports, collegiate sports, or simply enjoying all the amenities offered in our student center. Rusk offers 40 clubs and organizations, so we think you will find that during your time at Rusk, there is no shortage of activities for you to get involved in. Come visit us today, and we hope that you will want to be a part of the Bearcat Nation.
We have officially taken you through the Bearcat country, and we hope to welcome you to the campus of Rusk College here in Holly Springs, Mississippi very soon.
To learn more about Rusk College, you can visit us online at www.ruskcollege.edu. There's no place I'd rather be. There's no place I'd rather be. And it's two cuts for big players.
All right, we are back. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that and got a little short synopsis of who we are as an institution. I know, Mr. Johnson, you can be proud when you see at the end, Mr. Russ College this year is a man of Kappa Alpha Psi. So that was
that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So that's Mr. Russ College, Cameron Wilson. So we're definitely excited about him and everything that he's done and brought to the campus. So again, I'm Thad Jefferson. You are Director of Admissions for Russ College. So just to give you guys a little bit of information, because I believe in having a conversation. So we're just gonna have a conversation on tonight. Okay, if that's all right with y'all. You know, I'm not the PowerPoint guy. So I just believe in just talking to people and definitely have a conversation with you. Okay. So to give you guys a little bit of information of who we are for those of you who may not be familiar with Russ College as an institution. Okay, Russ College, we are of course an HBCU. Russ is the oldest historically Black college in the state of Mississippi. This year, we were able to celebrate 154 years of existence. Okay, so this year we are 154 years old. Okay, now there are three things that really sets Russ College apart from other institutions. That's going to be our admissions requirements, our costs, and our scholarship opportunities. Okay. Now, due to COVID, and we know this pandemic that's called COVID-19 has affected so many phases and so many walks of life. So one thing that we did this year was that Russ College has always been an institution that has never required the ACT or the SAT for acceptance. Okay, we never have in our history. And one thing, the reason we do that is because really with us, we really don't believe that the ACT or the ACT gives us an accurate depiction of a student's scholastic level. Because you have a lot of students that may be brilliant in the classroom, they're just not good standardized test takers. So we don't want that test to be a barrier on students getting accepted into a four-year institution. So we do not require it at all for general admissions. So but our GPA requirement to get into Russ College is only a 2.0 to get in. Okay, so if a student has a 2.0 or higher, they're automatically accepted to our school because we do not require the ACT or the ACT to be accepted into the school. Okay. Now, the next great thing about Russ is our costs and our economics. Definitely for whatever school that you decide to go to, economics need to play a role in that decision because there's something that is very real that is out now. And that thing is called the student loan deficit. Okay. And it is very real and it is very high. I think on average now, the average student that attends a four-year undergraduate school is leaving their institution $67,000 in debt. Okay, that's the national average now. So now as you guys begin to start this phase of doing your college searches and doing college preparatory, you need to make sure that you keep economics in your mind. I tell students all the time, there are two main criteria you need to go by when you're selecting a school. First, you want to go to the school that's going to be academically strong. Now that's a given. Okay, you want the school to be academically strong and you want the school to be accredited. The next thing you need to be looking for is to ensure that that school is putting you in the best financial position possible. Okay, so I don't care where it is, okay, or how far you may have to go. If that school is putting you in those two positions holistically, that's where you need to go to school. Okay. Now, as we talked about that, and we laid it out on the table, we talk about cost. Russ College only costs $14,200 for an entire year to go to school. Yes, you heard that correctly. It's only $14,200 for an entire year. So you may hear that price And then you may ask, well, Mr. Jefferson, what does that include? Because $14,200 could just be your tuition. Okay, so what does that 14,000 to include? Okay, I'm glad you guys asked. Okay, now at Rush, that $14,200, that is our total cost. Okay, that cost includes room, that cost includes board, includes tuition. Okay, and guess what? It also includes. It also includes your books. Okay, Rush College does not charge anything out of state. We don't charge anything extra for books, lab fees, technology fees, or tutoring. So every student that goes to Rush College pays a flat rate, no matter where you come from, of $14,200. Okay. Now, the third unique thing about our institution is our scholarship opportunities. Now, as I get ready to walk through these scholarships and tell you guys the pricings of these scholarships, okay, you got to keep in mind now, I want you to keep in mind how much we cost. Keep 14.2 in your mind so that when you hear the pricing for these scholarships, you understand how monumentous that is, okay? Now, due to COVID, also this year in our revised admissions policy, not only are we test optional for acceptance, but Rush College is also test optional for scholarships, which means that all of our academic scholarships are GPA based only. Okay. And they start at a 3.0 GPA. Okay. Doesn't matter what you made on ACT. As long as you have a 3.0 GPA, okay, you are scholarship eligible to attend my institution. So we do three different academic scholarships. Okay. The first one is the academic dean scholarship. Okay. Any student that attends REST that has a 3.0 GPA to a 3.24 GPA is eligible for the academic dean scholarship. Now, when you talk about how much that scholarship worth, that scholarship is worth $10,000. Okay, keep in mind we only cost 14.2. All right. Now, if the student comes in and they have a 3.25 GPA to a 3.49 GPA, you're eligible for our presidential scholarship. That scholarship is worth $12,000. Keep in mind we only cost 14.2. Okay. So if you have a 3.5 GPA or higher, Rush College will offer you a full academic scholarship to attend school. Okay. Now, whenever a school begins to talk to you about the possibility of a full scholarship, always make sure you understand what full means. Because a lot of times they may say they're going to offer you a full scholarship, and that scholarship may be full tuition, but you're on your own for rooming and boarding and books and all these other things. So always make sure that you understand what full means. So our full scholarship at Rush College covers the entirety of our cost. Any student that's on a full ride scholarship or full academic scholarship, the only thing they will have to pay for out of their pocket is a room reservation fee of $60. So once they pay that, they don't pay us anything else. Okay, we take care of everything else, and that's for any student that has a 3.5 GPA or higher. None of our scholarships, again, are test optional. They're only GPA only. So that's a 3.0 to a 3.24, academic dean 10,000, 3.25 to a 3.49, presidential 12,000, 3.5 or higher, full academic scholarship. Okay. Now, Russ, we also are affiliated with the United Negro College Fund. Okay. So the UNCF gives out thousands of dollars for our students to be able to attend school each year. I only have to do two things to apply for UNCF scholarship. You have to have at least a 2.5 GPA. Okay, you have to go on their website and you have to do a student profile. So once students are actually able to do those two things, right, and submit their essays, they will be eligible to receive UNCF funding. So we encourage our students to go after that money every year because it's free funding. And a lot of our students, a lot of times when we want to write those essays, we're telling them, if you can write an essay to land some free money, get to write, my friends. Okay, because all the free money that you can land, we want to go after, because at our school, our thing is we want to keep our students as far away from loans as possible. So every ounce of free funding that we can secure for them, that's one of the reasons why we like to keep our costs low. Because if we keep our costs lower, that means we can package our students, even for those students who come in and may not be academic scholarship eligible, with federal funding, UNCF funding, and all the other avenues we have for funding, we still can package them to possibly have no out-of-pocket expense and not have to touch a loan if they apply for the information, apply for the scholarship. So that's our goal at Rush, and that's one thing I really appreciate about the institution, especially being a Rushite, because I graduated from here myself, is everything that the institution does it for the advancement and centers it around the student. So we definitely encourage our students, get and secure as much free funding as you can, and we definitely are going to help to do so. Okay. So at Rush College, we actually have 19 different degree programs in our school, okay, that are broken down into 5 different divisions. Okay, that's the division of math and science, the division of humanities, business, education, and social science. So all of our 19 majors are broken down into those 5 different divisions. The 2 most popular programs that we have on our campus is our biology pre-med program and our mass communications program. Probably about 40 to 50% of our overall student population are biology pre-med majors. Okay, and one thing that we did this year that was kind of significant, we actually have a new president this year. Dr. Ivy Taylor is our president. You guys saw her in the video. She just started June the 1st. And one thing that she did was she was able to secure, because biology pre-med is such a popular major at where she was able to secure a MOU, a memorandum of understanding, with the college out of Houston, Texas, that's called the University of Incarnate Word. And how that partnership works is that the University of Incarnate Word actually specializes in postgraduate STEM programs. So what they are doing for us is that every year, the University of Incarnate Word is actually setting aside 10 interview seats for students that want to attend their med school. You know, and show you how monumentous this is that you have thousands upon thousands upon thousands of students that apply for med school seats every year to go to med school. And probably only about 7 to 10% of those students, especially for HBCUs, will land a seat. So to be able to have an institution like us that's small, but this year we'll have about 635 students. So to have an institution about that size to be able to be guaranteed 10 seats automatically for their students, that is monumentous. And then we also just signed an MOU with Cleveland State School of Law. That's a 3-3 program where our students were able to get their undergraduate degree and be able to complete their law program in 6 years. That's including their undergraduate degree. So we're excited about those 2 MOUs that we have just signed. And again, as before stated, Russ is a small school. Again, this year we only have about 630 students. On a regular year, we usually have anywhere from about 750 to 1,000, depending on the year. But of course, due to the pandemic, we did take a hit. This year, a lot of our upperclassmen students did not return to campus this year. A lot of them, you know, were victims of circumstance. They had to go home, help mom, help dad, you know, supply and provide for their siblings and provide for the household, because a lot of them lost their job. You know, but on a normal year, we have anywhere from 750 to 1,000 students. So that means that our student to professor ratio is very small. The ratio is only 15 to 1 on our campus. So our students get a lot of interpersonal time with professors concerning coursework, which is very important. You know, that's important in the collegiate experience and the collegiate process. I know I definitely benefited from that, you know, when I was here. So very family oriented. Russ is very family oriented. We look at trying to view our students not as commodities, but as family. You know, again, with me being a Russ site, that's something that I love about Russ. And I'm gonna share a story with you guys about my experience that I had here. I remember when I was coming out of high school, I was always a student that hated math. Like even to this day, I cannot stand math. Like when my children come and they need help with their math homework, I'd be like, take that to your mom. I can't do no math. I don't want to see it. Okay. So, but little did I know, you know, and so how naive I was and how ready I was to get away from math courses, is that I thought that when I got out of high school, I never have to see a math course again, because I went to college to be a communications major. So communications has nothing to do with math. So I'm like, oh yes, I'll never see a math course again. Little did I know that every college student still had to take college algebra as a graduation requirement. Oh, that just killed my soul and killed my spirit. So I'll never forget it. I ended up taking college algebra the second semester of my freshman year. And I was probably, after probably about 2 weeks in the class, probably the best grade I was going to be able to get may have been a D. I mean, I was bombing everything. So I never forget it. I stopped going to the class. I said, I'm going to stop going to the class. I just failed it and take it again later. So it was in February. I tell you, I will never forget this day, because this day changed my life completely. It was February the 17th, 2006, 2:17 p.m. in the afternoon. I was sitting in my residential hall and I got a knock at my door. So I opened the door, you know, I'm geeked up. I'm excited because I'm thinking this is going to be, you know, my friends want to go and hang out. But lo and behold, I opened the door and it's actually my college algebra professor. And he's like, Dad, man, look, you haven't been in my class for a while there, man. Like, what's going on? What's up? So I was like, Doc, look, I'm not going to pass your class. So I'm just going to fail you and I'll take you again later. And he was like, no, you come to my class. So 18-year-old student, I reluctantly did so. But from that day until the class ended, my college algebra professor worked with me every single day. with quadratics, with linear equations, with fractionaires. So I know all of this. I can do this stuff in my sleep now. And I ended up finishing college algebra with an A, and it was really in that moment where I understood where I was, because my college algebra professor was going to get paid whether I pass or fail, but for him to have that much unction and that much attentiveness, out of all the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of students that he taught, to know that there was one. I didn't go to him and tell him this, to know that one was struggling and that he can notice that that one student had been missing class consistently, and to actually take me under his wing and make sure that I succeeded. I mean, that meant everything in the world to me. So, I tell students and parents all the time, Russ is not a bells and whistles school at all. But if you definitely are looking for an institution that's going to invest in you, not only academically, but interpersonally, I mean, it doesn't get any better than your experience here. I like to be open and I like to be holistic, with parents and students when we talk about Rush. Yes, it's small, it's quaint, we're private, don't cost a whole lot. So there's a whole lot of maybe amenities and a lot of advancements that we don't have that larger schools may have. But when you talk about, again, you talk about an institution that's really going to welcome you in and treat you and draw you as family, you'll be able to compete with anybody in the world. When you leave here, it doesn't get any better than Rush. You're talking about doctors, lawyers, presidents, vice presidents of banks, superintendents, principals, you name, entrepreneurs have come off this year. We actually have one young man, his name is Carvis Jones. He graduated from Rush in 2003 as a mass communications major. He just won an Emmy Award. So we have several students that have left here and done extremely well, coming from the Citadel on the Hill, as we like to call Rush College in Holly Springs, Mississippi. So we definitely would love to be able to service you guys and really to explore these opportunities even the more that we have at Rush College. I don't know if we have any athletes on the call, but Rush, we do have intercollegiate sports here. If you include men and women, Rush has 11 major intercollegiate sports, okay? We have basketball, baseball, softball, track and field, cross country, tennis, and volleyball. So, and we participate in Division I athletics, okay? We're part of the NAIA Division I GCAC conference. So we're really excited about where our athletic program is headed. Our women's program has been doing extremely well the past 2 years. Last year, our women's team actually made history. They won 24 games. They were 24-6 last year. Our starting small forward was the conference MVP. Our coach was actually coach of the year. We were ranked number 23 in the nation for the first time in our history. So we just hired a new men's coach this year, Coach Edward Newton, who's also a graduate of Rush College, that is coming back to revitalize and revamp our men's program. So we're just excited about the changes and the transitions that we are going through now as an institution, even being able to bring in my new president, and definitely appreciate Dr. Taylor's predecessor, Dr. David L. Beckley, for the service that he did render the institution. He was president for 27 years, from 1993 to May 30th, 2020 of this year. So we're definitely appreciative and grateful to him for everything that he did and the service that he did offer during his tenure as president. So again, we would love to explore, this opportunity with you guys, and definitely, hopefully, in the near future, get you some of you guys on our campus for a tour, because we have opened up our campus to small group tours. So we definitely would love for you guys to come down and see us. I know I talked a lot, so I'm gonna open the floor now. If there be any questions, anything anybody want to ask me right quick, I would definitely open the floor to questions at this time.
Do you guys have an ROTC type of program?
ROTC program, we do not. Unfortunately, no, we do not have an ROTC program on the campus. We do have some ROTC affiliate programs, but we don't have one on our campus at this time. I'm sorry, bro. Yeah, good question. Any other questions for anybody that you guys may want to ask? I may have some parents online. Parents, y'all want to ask me some questions? You definitely can ask me some questions. Ask me whatever you like. I would definitely answer that.
I got a question on the UNCF.
Yes, sir.
Is that only applicable for when you're in college, or can you apply for those scholarships as a high school senior?
No, you can qualify for those as a high school senior. Matter of fact, while we're talking about UNCF, I will drop the link to the website in the chat. So you definitely can get started on applying for those as a high school senior for sure. So I'm gonna drop this in the chat. That is actually the website for the profile that you can create that I just dropped in the chat. So definitely, if you are a high school senior, you can go ahead and start creating and building their profile now for UNCF scholarships. For sure. Okay, got a question, Chad. My daughter's interested in pre-dental. Does the MOU with the school in Houston also include? Yes, it does. It does. We've actually had several students to actually come out of Rush and become dentists. Dr. Kevin Ouma, who actually graduated with me from Rush, is now a practicing dentist that graduated from Rush. He's originally from Nigeria. So yes, man, that does include dentistry. Yes, man. Great question. Great question. Any more questions?
Is there?
I have a question for you. Hello?
Yes, sir. I'm listening.
Yeah, I got a question for you. What you got? When you said you had students enrollment like 600 kids, 600 students.
Yes.
Can you tell these young men the benefit of going to a small college as opposed to a bigger college? Because I know a lot of kids we work with, they like to go to a bigger college. Yeah. My daughters went to a smaller college, but can you talk about the benefits of a small college as it relates to networking opportunities and traveling far abroad?
Absolutely. And that definitely was going to be the first thing I began to touch on. When you're at smaller schools and smaller institutions, I like to use this analogy. It's easier to be more visible, when you're a big fish in a small pond. And our students actually are able to have more connectivity to networking opportunities and be able to build more interpersonal relationships with administrators. So you have to understand, a lot of people that are in higher administration have been all over the world, all over the nation, and made all different type of connections and all different type of entities. So when you're at a smaller school and students and professors and administrators are able to engage you more interpersonally, that opens up more opportunity to you. It's harder for institutional administrators to be able to service campuses when you have 15, 20,000 students on your campus. Of course, you're not going to be able to give everybody that level of interpersonal direct attention. But when you're at a smaller school like a Rush that only has 650 programs, 5 different divisions, so if you do the math on that, you only have maybe a little over 100 students per division. So that puts your professors and your administrators and all of these people that are in high personnel in more direct contact with the student body, and being able to build personal relationship is more effective and efficient, even in your experience. Just like I shared with you about the story I had with my college algebra professor, right? Had we been in an auditorium style setting where it was 70, 80 type students in there with me, he would have known I had missed those classes like that. He would have known me by my first name, but because it was more centralized and it was smaller and it was more engaging, that even puts the professors and the administrators at a better position to be able to directly service our students. And I tell students all the time, it's also important to be able to identify the type of learner you are. So if you know that you are an auditory learner, or you are a visual learner, or you're more of a hands-on learner, it may not be beneficial to go to a larger school, because larger schools, you have to be able to learn and think more independently, more kinetically, quote unquote. So there's also definitely another good aspect of being at a smaller school, the networking opportunities, the relationships that you're able to build, the open door policies that administrators are going to have is going to give you more direct access to them interpersonally. I definitely a lot of the advancements that you will receive attending a small school. I know it definitely worked for me, because the vice president of Rush College, Dr. Ishmael Edwards, to this day is still a mentor for me. But because I was able to engage him a lot personally, attending a smaller school, I was able to build that relationship and that correlation. So I definitely would not X out smaller schools. To be honest with you, sometimes, man, the bells and the whistles, it's overrated. You definitely want to go to an institution that's going to be the best fit for you and that's going to provide you definitely with the best opportunity to get to the next phase in life. So that's definitely a good point to bring up. Okay. Anything else anybody may want? I like questions, y'all. Blow me up with questions. I love questions.
All right. You got a question in the chat.
I didn't pay attention. Okay.
Yeah. Is there someone that works with students that are undecided on a major?
Thank you for bringing that up, Ms. Rose. Yes, at Rush College, we have what we call an FYE program. Okay. It's an acronym for first year experience. So when our students actually come, we actually instituted the FYE program to put our institution in a better position where we improve on our retention rate of students going from their freshman year to their sophomore year. So with the FYE program, the FYE program consists of directors and counselors who serve as counselors for our freshman students. So every freshman student that comes into our campus actually gets their own academic counselor. And that academic counselor is there to serve as a student throughout their matriculation of their first year of college. So if we have a student that actually comes into the institution and is undecided on what it is they want to major in, the counselor actually takes them through a referral program to be able to try to help assist them identify what it is they may want to do. Okay, because we do not officially require our students to declare their major until their sophomore year anyway. So through the FYE program and direct correlation and meeting with their counselor, the counselor kind of helps streamline them and to identify what it is they may want to do by going through a series of tests, trying to identify what their interests are, what their strongest subject areas were in school. So that kind of helps to give identify or centralize a point where they can identify what it is they may want to major in, what they may want to pursue, because we try to encourage our students. You want to be able to pursue something that you can create and make into a career, because it's entirely different than having a job and having a career. So we definitely want them to be able to identify what it is they want to pursue as a career, and those counselors in that FYE program assist them in doing so. But that's definitely a good question. Next question, can you touch on the community surrounding the school, local churches, volunteer work, small area, etc.? Good, I most definitely can. So I'll read these questions out loud, for some of you guys may have similar questions. So again, the question asks, can you touch on the community surrounding the school, local churches, volunteer work, and small area, etc.? I sure can. So Holly Springs itself is an urban metro city. It's a small city, population of about 10,000 people. Holly Springs is predominantly African American. I definitely can tell you anything you want to know about the city because I'm from Holly Springs. Because I didn't attend Russ at first. I actually went to Jackson State University first on a football scholarship. Things didn't work out there, so I came home and finished my degree at Russ. So Holly Springs is a small, quaint town. Again, urban metro city. It's a certified retirement city. So if you know anything about certified retirement cities, crime rates are usually going to be low in certified retirement cities because most of the population is going to be 40 or older. And statistics say that most of your crime rates don't happen amongst individuals in that age bracket. Okay. Russ is very, very heavily religiously influenced. We are a United Methodist Church, and that actually comes from our founding. Russ was actually founded in the basement of the United Methodist Church, because during the time when Russ was founded, we actually founded a year after the abolishment of slavery. Slavery was abolished in 1865. We were established the very next year, 1866. So the school came to be because there was a pastor of a church in Holly Springs. The name of that church was called Asbury United Methodist Church. So during the time when he was actually setting up government or policy in his church, he actually was beginning to select officers. And a lot of his parishioners were actually freed slaves. So when he was getting ready to set everything up, right, he was trying to select himself a secretary. So he couldn't select a secretary because nobody in his congregation could read or write. So what happened was he reached out to an organization from up north that was called the Freedom Aid Society, who was actually coming down south, and they were establishing different outlets for freed slaves to learn how to read and write. So this pastor actually opened up his doors to the church for the Freedom Aid Society to come in and establish an outlet for freed slaves in the basement of his church. So thus far, Russ College was born. So that's actually how we got our United Methodist affiliation. You know, we're definitely very proud of that. So we're very, very, very involved in the religious side. Again, we cannot, as an institution of higher learning and a federally funded institution, no institution that's federally funded can force religion. However, we do not shy away, again, from who we are, definitely as an institution. So the churches around are very engaged with our student body. There is a local church by the name of the Awakening Church that's right up the street from our school. A lot of our students actually attend that church on Sundays. As a matter of fact, their praise and worship leader and all their musicians are Rush College students. So we do definitely believe and engage in that aspect. Again, crime rate here is very low. We don't have a whole lot of crime on our campus as well. Rush is pretty much a safe environment. Don't get me wrong. We do have our knuckleheads that are here sometimes, like to fight, try to sneak contraband on campus. You know, no school can say that they don't have anything that transpires or tries to happen. But, you know, crime rate is very low on our campus. An advantage that we have is actually the mayor of the city of Holly Springs and the chief of police are both Rush graduates. Okay, so we actually have partnered with Holly Springs Police Department. They actually patrol our campus at night. So we believe in definitely keeping our children safe because as a parent myself, and this is my philosophy, as a parent, there's nothing in your life. I have 3 children myself. There's nothing more valuable. There's no commodity in the world is more valuable to a person than their child. And your child brings about a different type of emotion. And my philosophy or my mindset is that there are hundreds of schools in America. So our parents can choose to send their students or send their children to wherever school they want to. So for them to decide to entrust us with their baby's care, because they're during the school year, our students are in school from August to April, right? So I think if my math serves me correct, that's like 8 months that they're in our possession, right? So I think if a student is going to be in our possession and the parent is entrusting us, right, 8 months out of a year for the care of their child, I think the least we can do is make sure they have opportunities and are safe. So I think that's the least we can do. So we definitely pride ourselves in doing that and making sure that all of our brothers and sisters, because that's what we look at our students as, our little brothers and our little sisters, are all taken care of and that they're all safe at all times. So of course that comes with ensuring that they know that there's a certain level of responsibility they have to partake because when they're away from the campus, we're not with them. So we need them to be responsible as well when they're going to these different events and going to college parties and all these different things. So we drive that in them to help us help them. But at the same time, we ensure that, when they're, as long as they're here, as long as they're home out of those 8 months, because 8 months out of their lives, 8 months out of the year, we're going to be home for them, that when they come home, that they are safe and they are well taken care of. Okay. All the questions are popping in now. Okay. Next question comes from Mr. Johnson. It says, is there a career placement program in effect to assist with internships and jobs after graduation? Yes, there are. Okay, our students are actually required to do an internship before they graduate. It's a graduation requirement. So if our students want to do more than one internship, they definitely can, but they must at least do one before they leave here as a graduation requirement, so they can complete all of their course content. If they haven't done an internship, they can't go anywhere until they do. Okay, so we did input that into our curriculum, and students must do an internship before they leave. And of course, by making that mandatory, that automatically does assist with our job placement ratings too, because companies are more apt to hire students that are fresh out of college that have done internships with their companies. So yes, that definitely does help us with that, and we do require that before our students graduate. Next question is, do you have a history major? Any focus on Black people in institutes established by grants? I don't think I caught what the last part is asking, but we don't have history as a major. We do have social science as a major, which is kind of along those same lines. We're actually looking for history as an actual major. No, we don't have that definitely as a major. What is the dorm situation regarding COVID? Well, this year what we did, glad you asked that question, Ms. Rose. If you actually go online, you can actually look at our CDC policy. Russ has a very extensive CDC policy that we put together in the beginning of the year. So one of the first things that we did with our CDC policy is that we cut our on-campus population in half. On a good year, we can actually house about 750 to 800 students on campus. So we cut that in half this year. So this year we only had about 350 students that was on our campus, and everybody else that wasn't on campus is 100% remote. So what that did was that kind of put us in a better position to be able to manage trafficking and ensuring that our students are abiding by the CDC guidelines on our campus. So as a result, all of our first-time students that attended Rush this year were able to get their own room. On a regular year, our first-time students usually are two to a room, but because we wanted to minimize the contact of students and as well as faculty and staff, we allowed for them inside the dormitory room to have their own room. Okay, so that's something that we did do this year. Students are required to sanitize before and after leaving any building that they enter. So we set up sanitation stations all over the campus. So we were doing very, very good with that from August all the way to about late October. By late October, I think our students were starting to get a little stir crazy and they gave in to temptation, and there was a party that was being hosted off campus, and a lot of our students went to that, and a couple of our students did contract COVID-19 as a result of that. But because of that, we were able, because we called it initially, we were able to kind of neutralize it and keep it from actually widespreading across the campus. So we actually just came off a 2-week quarantine that we did on our campus to trying to get a hold of that before it actually became spread all over the campus. So we did do that. But other than that, we've had a good year dealing with CDC. Another thing that we did was that after the Thanksgiving break, our students will not return to campus to January. So they will actually be getting out next Wednesday. And when our students leave on next Wednesday, they will not return to the campus until January the 6th. So they kind of minimized them going off for Thanksgiving break, being in everybody's house, Auntie Bam Bam, Grandma Boom Boom, everybody, and then coming back to the campus, and then going back home for Christmas and coming back in January. So to minimize all that, we said, once y'all go home for Thanksgiving, y'all just stay, enjoy yourself, and then come back in January. But as a requirement of CDC, when they come back in January, everybody will be required to do a rapid test right here on campus. So we've already actually purchased all the rapid tests necessary to test every individual, faculty, staff, and students when they come back after New Year. So that's something that we did, Ohio CDC policy, on how we handling that actually this year. Now we're thinking that next year, next fall, we'll be back to some sense of normalcy, but of course we have to just weigh it out and see what's actually shaking and going on in the world. So we're thinking that next fall we will go back to our regular school year. So like I said, that's all going to determine about what COVID wants to do. So if everything is still the same, we'll still have that same CDC guideline next year. But as we are thinking in our mind, we should be back to some sense of normalcy next year and go back to our original setup on campus and in residential halls. How soon can we set up a college visit? As soon as you're ready to come. Okay, so we actually have started doing small group tours, and we are open to do small group tours. What we ask is that when our students come on small group tours, that they come in no more than parties of 5, and they are required to wear a mask. But we setting up college visits. We have actually just did one on yesterday, and have one to do on Monday. So we have opened up our campus to small group tours. If you want to do a tour, you actually can schedule our tour online. I actually will drop our website in the chat, or you can contact me directly. But we do have an area on our website where you can schedule a college tour. And I'm dropping our website in the chat right now. Okay, so you definitely can go to our website and you definitely can schedule a tour if you want to. We definitely are hosting small group tours. But if you guys may not feel comfortable with touring campuses due to the pandemic, we also do virtual tours. So you can set it up in person or you can set it up virtually. It's definitely better in person, because when I tour folk, when people come to my campus for a tour, you don't leave here without eating. Okay, so you definitely gonna get some food in you. So definitely, if you want to come and get some of this Southern cuisine that's like no other, because we ain't got nothing but folks grandmas cooking in our kitchen. You know, grandmas can lay it down. All right, definitely come on our campus so you can get some of this good food we got down here in Mississippi now. But you definitely could come down you all and do a tour in person for sure, for sure. Do you have a mass? Yes, we definitely do, Mr. Johnson. Have a mass communications major. Mass communications was my major. That's what I got my bachelor's degree in. Now, what's kind of different about our mass communications program is that we actually have a campus-owned TV station and radio station that's ran by our students. And our students actually start hands-on training in mass communications their freshman year. So a lot of our students have a leg up on other institutions, because most institutions will not allow you to start hands-on training until your junior year. But our students come right in as freshmen and they hit the ground running in our mass communication program. To give you an example, we have 2 mass comm majors that came in this August. One young man's name is Clazarian Harris, and the other young man's name is Kobe Hunter. Clazarian already has started his own podcast. It's called Soaring Radio. I've actually been on that show for him before. I think already he has about 5,000 followers already. He's just been here since August. The other young man, Kobe Hunter, he's already working as a assistant night program director. So he does all of our night programming for our radio station. And this young man just got here in August. So already he's running a night program and he's only been here a couple months. So that's a good thing. Kind of what sets our program apart, and it's actually Rush College. And I'm saying this to be biased because I work here and I graduated from Rush. But when it comes to mass comm, it's very difficult for other institutions to be able to compete with our program. For one, because of the resources that we actually have in our mass communications program, with our Final Cut Pro editing systems, with our green screens, with our camera operating system, having access to your own TV station, having access to your own radio station, and you're doing that as soon as you actually get to the institution. That's another thing that goes back to Mr. Derrick Johnson's statement earlier about being at a small school. When you're at a smaller school, you're able to engage this stuff sooner. The reason why a lot of other schools cannot do that, or they do that, or don't allow students to engage to their junior year, is because they really don't have the manpower to be able to service that many students. So if you have a mass comm program at a large school that has 5,000 students in it, it's hard to be able to manage, and in 24 hours a day. So it's hard to be able to manage giving everybody the type of adequacy. So you have to do it burst on spurts. But when you're at a smaller school, like our mass comm program may have 150 students in it, it's more opportunities for our students to be able to engage a lot more and be a lot more hands-on. So that's the advantage that we do have. Again, Carvis Jones, who I told y'all about earlier, is a 2003 grad. He graduated with a degree in mass comm, and he just won an Emmy Award this year for some work that he did in production. So we're definitely excited about him. Next question from Mr. Johnson: do you offer a marine science program or a social work program? Marine science, no, but we do offer a social work program. Our social work program is actually nationally accredited. Rush College is actually one of the few HBCUs that has a nationally accredited social work program. Okay, we've had several students to actually leave Rush and do well in the social work field. They work in the school system. They actually work for the city jobs or placement jobs. So we've had several students to come and do very well in social work program. I mean, it is nationally accredited for sure. Say, Ms. Rose, is the class going to be virtual until COVID is over, or is there another option? I'm trying to get clarity on exactly what you asked. Are you asking, Ms. Rose, are our classes virtual now? Or are you asking, are they going to be virtual next year? What are you specifically are you asking with that question?
I was basically asking, were the classes, will you have the option next year to do virtual, or are they all in class?
Well, one thing that we are doing is that although this pandemic has been so devastating to our nation, there has been some silver lining in it. And one silver lining that has been with us is that it has, I don't want to say forced us, but it's opened up our eyes to the importance of getting involved more with virtual learning. So our online platform that we have established now will be something that we keep permanently. So now we actually offer a fully online platform at our school, and that's something that we will institute permanently. Now, as the nation or whatever begins to move more towards a sense of normalcy, hopefully next year, we're hoping by next fall we'll be back to a normal school session, but we will still have that online option for our students that do want to do online. So that still will be in place. But as far as the functionality of the institution, we're hoping that by the fall we'll be back to some sense of normalcy. But of course, that will be determined upon what this pandemic looks like by then. Yes, ma'am. Somebody said not the grandmas. Yes, we got the grandmas in the kitchen down here. Another good thing about Russ, we talk about that, is that our food, our students' meal plan is included in that 14-2. So our students don't have to pay anything outside of that. Yeah, Mr. John. I see that caught your attention, didn't it, DJ? Yeah, that's included in the 14-2. So you don't have to pay anything extra for your meal plan. You don't have to worry about getting a meal plan where you got 20 meals a week. Then when the meals run out, you got to figure out how you're going to eat. Okay, so your food is included in that 14-2. We feed you 3 times a day. You can eat till you pass out. Okay, so on the weekends, though, we only do 2 times. Our students ain't getting up that early to go to breakfast on the weekend. So we do brunch and dinner on Saturday and Sunday, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, you're eating 3 times a day. Eat till you can't take no more. Okay, and so the food down here is relatively good. We kind of changed up our dining services as well. So this year, due to COVID, we do not have any dine-in. All of our food is grab and go. So we give our students an entree selection every day if they want to eat what's on the main course entree, and then they have choices. They either go. We set up a Mexican bar for them. We set up a vegetarian bar for our students that don't eat meat and they want to get them a salad or something. And then we have an Italian bar. So I give you an example, like on the entree bar, like yesterday, because I had a tour on campus and we went to eat. I tell y'all again, come on campus, you are going to eat. So yesterday, so I always tell my guests, when you come to rest, I always come hungry because we're gonna eat down here. Okay. So yesterday on the menu for the entree, they had smothered pork chops and gravy. Oh my God. Smothered pork chops and gravy. You can actually put that over rice. Green beans, rolls for dessert. They had like pecan pie, pound cake. You could get some Oreo cookies. They had some chocolate cake. And then if you didn't want that, they had an Italian bar. I think an Italian bar, they had like some shrimp Alfredo or something like that. And then if you wanted to get some Mexican, you get like a fried fajita and some nacho chips or things like that. So you have your selection. Or even if our students want to do an entree and they want to get a little bit from each station, they can. Then we do a pizza bar every day where they can get pizza as well. So that kind of gives you an idealism of what we do here. So usually we mix it up throughout the week. What our students eating on Friday, we usually fry catfish on Friday, so what we call it catfish fried. Mm-hmm. Okay, and Russ is actually infamous for their fried catfish. So, and again, that is included definitely in our students' $14,000 cost. You say yes. Thank you, Ms. Rose. Appreciate that. It says, Mr. Sherman says, I have to. Okay, no problem. Thank you for being here, Mr. Sherman. What is the process for applying to Russ College through the Black Common App? You definitely can apply. Thank you for the question, Mr. Johnson. You definitely can apply through Russ to the Black Common App. Once you have applied, this is what I like to do, and I'm about to drop my phone number in the chat. When students apply to the Black Common App, I like for them to contact me as soon as they've done. And what we do at Russ is that we have a 24-hour turnaround for students that apply through the Black Common App. So once you have applied to the Black Common App, you can let me know either by email or by cell phone that you have applied, and we get out acceptance and scholarship offers 24 hours from that point. Because my thing is, that's my policy on customer service. If you have any interest in my school, you've applied to my school, you've sent your transcripts, you've done your part, then you shouldn't have to wait to get your letters. You shouldn't be applying to my school and then you have to wait 3-4 months to get an acceptance letter. No, that's not good customer service. So what we try to do is we try to ensure that if a student has applied on the Black Common App, you contact me 24 hours from the point that you contact me, you will receive an acceptance letter and a scholarship letter as long as you contact me through the week, of course. Because you contact me on a Friday, I won't be back in my office till Monday, so I can't send it to them. So if the student contacts me throughout the week and let me know that they have applied, 24 hours from that point, okay, they will receive an acceptance and a scholarship offer if they qualify. Okay, if you get the full amount on the FAFSA, this is the next question. If you get the full amount on the FAFSA, does it cover both semesters or just one? That's a good question, Ms. Rose. Now we got to go back to evaluating the cost to go to school and look at federal funding. Okay, federal funding plays a key role in our students' packaging because our cost is so low. Now, if Russ had been $25,000, $30,000, or when you get stuff like Pell Grant, they're just a drop in the bucket. But when you get full Pell Grant now is $6,395. So when you get that one grant by itself, that one grant is almost half of what we cost. Okay, so you've already cut our cost almost in half with just one grant. Any student that comes into Russ also qualify for 2 more things for federal funding. They actually qualify for a grant that we do that's called the SEOG grant. That's a student equal opportunity grant. That grant used to be $1,000. This year we raised it to $1,500. Okay, and then they also can qualify for work study. So what we do at our schools is, again, we try to do our best to keep our students as far away from loans as possible. Now, we can't sit up here and say that every student that goes to our school is loan free. No students say that. But what I can tell you is that on average, if you look at what a student takes out of here, the ones that have to take out loans, if you look at on average what they take out here, it is pennies compared to what they take out of other schools. Okay, so we exhaust all of those funds first, and if our students qualify for any type of scholarships, we stack that on top of what they qualify for federally. So if that means you qualify for academics, so we do scholarships for academics, UNCF, athletics, band, choir, and United Methodist. So if a student is a United Methodist student, I'm gonna tell y'all a little secret in a minute. Don't tell nobody I told you though. If you are a United Methodist student, you can you can actually get some funding. But here's the secret, y'all. Shh, don't tell nobody I told you. Even if you're not United Methodist, if you know a United Methodist pastor, just tell him to write you a recommendation letter. Yeah, just tell him to write you one. We'll accept that. You ain't got to be a member of his church. Just tell him, look, I'm trying to go to school. They do United Methodist funding. Write me a help a brother or sister out. And write me a recommendation letter to attend Rush. We will honor that. Okay? So you don't necessarily have to be. No, don't tell them Mr. Jefferson told you that, okay? Just make it seem like you go to their church or something, okay? And we definitely will honor that. So we do United Methodist band, choir, athletics, academics, and UNCF scholarship. So again, we're trying to exhaust as much free funding as we possibly can to keep our babies away from loans. So when they leave and get ready to go to get their master's degrees and go to med school, they're not putting debt on top of debt. Okay, so we don't relinquish or diminish any of our scholarship fundings. Okay, we're going to apply that federal fund first, and then we're going to put what they qualify for, academic or whatever scholarship to get on top of that. Now, the only time we do kind of play with that a little bit is for our full ride scholars. Now, with our full ride scholars, they're full Pell eligible. We are going to apply their Pell to their account first, and then we're going to pay the difference. So that kind of helps us to be able to save some money because we small, we private, y'all. So we got to be able to generate some revenue. Okay, but we do that. So that's another thing that we definitely do. Thank you again, Lamont, for being here. Make sure I get all the questions. Who sets up choir auditions and how soon can we do them? You actually can set that up with me. I actually have a young lady that'll be on our campus for a tour this Monday, and during her tour, she will be doing a choir audition with our choir director this Monday. So if you want to come on a tour, Ms. Rose, we can tour. And then if you want to incorporate the choir audition during the tour, we can do that. I had a young man from Hattiesburg, Mississippi, that was on our campus this past Friday. He was in band. So he did a band audition while he was here, and the band director made him an offer right there on the spot. So definitely, if you want to schedule a time, we can come down. Like I said, if you guys are not comfortable with coming down, we definitely can do a virtual audition. But if you want to come down for a tour, during a tour, if our students participate in any type of extracurricular, we try to set, if our directors are available, of course, and in town, we try to set up those auditions while they're here on our campus and take advantage of you guys being here. So you definitely can set that up with me for sure. Hours for tours, we try to schedule our tours anytime between 8 and 3 because the campus shuts down at 5. And to get a good quality tour, it takes about an hour to do everything. So we like to start shutting those down by 3 because if we go past 3, then we probably won't be able to tour everything before the campus closes at 5. So we try to shut those down really at 3 o'clock. So the best time to tour is Monday through Friday, 8 to 3. Now we know that some of our parents have more demanding work schedules. So we do offer tours on Saturdays. However, we do let our parent students know that if you do come on a Saturday, there might not be a whole lot of accessibility to people, and a lot of the buildings are closed on Saturday. But if you just want to come, just get a feel of the tour, we can go in the buildings that we can enter. We can do that on a Saturday. But if they can, we try to encourage our students to do tours between Monday and Friday between the hours of 8 and 3. Okay. I think that got all of the questions. Anything else you guys definitely can ask me. I know certain people said they had to go. I want to know if the dance team, yes, if there's a dance team a part of the band, there is. Rush College does have a dance team that's a part of the band, and we do host auditions for that dance team as well. So we definitely can do that as well. So can we schedule the tour for this weekend? Let me know what time you want to come this weekend, Ms. Rhodes. Are you talking about looking at Saturday? I presume we definitely can do that. We definitely can do that if you want to go for tour. So my daughter would like to know if you have a cheer squad. Yes, we do have a cheer squad, and we do have a cheer team for sure. We do host auditions for those. Even if you want to come for a tour, again, everything that we do extra curriculum. If you come for a tour, we're going to make it available that you go audition for whatever. So if there's our dance team, cheerleaders, majorettes, choir, whatever, we try to make sure that we make room for you to be able to audition while you are here for those tours. So we definitely can do that. So if the pastor is non-denominational, does that apply to United Methodist? No, it has to be a United Methodist pastor because he's gonna have to provide the letter on the United Methodist seal. Okay, so it has to at least be a United Methodist pastor. Pastor has to be United Methodist. Okay.
On the tours, can the audition be incorporated as well?
Can the auditions be incorporated on the tours?
If I try to schedule one for this weekend.
I would. That's it again. I would have to see if again, because we try not to interfere unless we just have to with our directors and stuff schedules, and a lot of them do a lot of different things on Saturdays and Sundays. So I have to see if they will be available that soon. To be out this for choir, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I would have to get with him with Dr. Harvey, who is our choir director, and see if he will be available this
Okay.
Saturday. I can't guarantee that he will.
I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be a Saturday. I mean, this weekend, but can it be a Saturday, so that we can do the tour and the audition as well? It doesn't necessarily have to be this Saturday, but can it
Yes,
be a
I can
Saturday?
get with him. I can get with him. I
Okay.
can get with him and see what Saturday he'll be available. I know we didn't do this one. I doubt he'll be available next Saturday because we still will be out, and most people probably still be celebrating Thanksgiving next Saturday. But I will definitely get with him today and see what Saturday he has available. We'll make it happen for you.
Okay. Thank
No
you.
problem. We'll get it done. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Any more questions from anybody? Anybody? Again, y'all have been awesome. On here again, I'm going to drop my phone number in the chat. If you guys need anything from me, definitely give me a call. I'm also going to redrop the website. If you have not applied to Rush, you can apply to Rush on our website. Or if you're on the Black Common app, you definitely can do the Black Common app. Okay, right there, Rush College, we have a pretty heavy presence on the Black Common app, so you guys can definitely apply there, or you can apply on our website. Okay, so I just dropped that again in the chat. There's my cell number. That's the best number to reach me at. I'll drop that to Miss Rose privately. Hold on, let me get this to everyone. Okay, so you guys can definitely contact me. Again, if you have not applied to Rush College, definitely apply on the website. Application is free. Okay, if you apply on the website, or if you want to apply on the Common Black app, you definitely can do that. Okay, if you need me directly, call me or text me. And definitely, Ms. Rose, I would get with Dr. Harvey. If I don't get with him tomorrow, because I have to be out of town most of the day tomorrow. If I don't get with him tomorrow, I would definitely get with him Thursday, and we'll see what Saturday he has available, and we'll get that audition done for you guys for sure. Okay. So there be any more questions from anybody? Again, thank you again, Mr. Johnson, both Mr.
Yes,
Johnsons, and the men
All
of
right.
Kappa Alpha Psi for inviting me on tonight. It has definitely been wonderful. I appreciate it. And we definitely not gonna be strangers one to another. But I thank y'all for having us on and giving us this opportunity on tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for taking the time out your schedule today to disseminate this wonderful, wonderful information. And I think Rush College is a great opportunity for a lot of our young men and young women.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to some of these kids enrolling.
There you go, man. We want to get them on now. Now, Mr. Johnson and Mr. Johnson. Now, sometime in the near future, now we're gonna have to get y'all on campus so I can feed y'all now.
Absolutely.
You make me want to go back to undergrad. Listen to this spiel, boy. Can I go back? You got a doctorate program I can get into?
Right, I'm working on a master's, trying to get a master's.
Hey, listen, stay tuned though, because our president is very keen on bringing some master program to us. So we're looking at the MAE and the MBA now. We're definitely looking at those too.
Awesome.
So that may be something definitely in the near future. But we're going to get y'all down here, man, just as a thank you, man.
Yes, sir.
We got to get y'all down for sure.
Absolutely. All right. I want to thank all the parents and the students that joined in tonight as well, because I know it's a lot of parents that weren't really familiar with who Rush College was, as well as students. So I think this gives them a good foundation to understand what the opportunities are that's available. So again, I thank you very much, and to all the parents and the students, put your applications in.
Put them in now. Put them in. We'll be waiting on. That's why we like to call ourselves the hidden gem, man, because a lot of people don't know about Rush, but man, when you talk about the opportunities that I did, I thank God every day. I went to this school, man, simply because of the experience I have. Oh my God, the money I saved. So we definitely want to get the word out. So we appreciate all these different platforms that people are allowing us, like you guys, that are allowing us to get the word out, man. So we really appreciate y'all.
All right. If there's no more questions, that's it for tonight. And again, look in the chat. You see the website where you can where you can apply to Rush College, and also Mr. Jefferson's contact information is in there.
It's in there. It's in there.
All
Y'all
right.
reach out now.
All right, everybody have a good night.
All right, now see y'all.
All right.